5 fragrances that they're not the greatest fragrances that I've made. I'm not going to make that claim, but going into 2025, these are 5 fragrances that I love, and that if somebody asked me and they said, what should I buy? What do you recommend? This is it. These are the top 5. These are the ones that I wear more than any other right now, anyways. And going into winter, compliment monsters, and absolutely my favorite fragrances in my collection right now. But before I start, I did want to give just an honorable mention that I didn't want to put it in the top 5, but I give an honorable mention to English Laundry. They are liquidating everything, it seems, selling things at crazy, crazy low prices. These are $60, $70 fragrances, and you can find them at Ross, Burlington, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and they're going for $15. For $15, that is insane value. So, if you see this one, Crown, this is my favorite. This is beautiful, aquatic, citrus, sugary sweet, very similar to like a Halloween or Born in Roma or Invictus 1 Million. Similar vibes, and Blue Oxford and Riviera are good. And if you want if you want an Aventus clone, I know all of you probably have 1600, but London is their Aventus clone. It's pretty good. So I just wanted to get that mentioned, because when it comes time to what should you be looking for to purchase in 2025, I wouldn't skip out on the English Laundries. It's once this fire sale goes away, I think they're going to go back up in price. So let's just get into it in no particular order. Let's just get into it. I'm going to start with this one because I know I'm going to forget the name of this top note. And this is Eros Flame. You notice a lot of these are not, they're not brand new. This has been around for, when was this released? I don't even know when this was released. A couple years ago. And I slept on this forever and ever. And I didn't pick it up, mostly because Eros, for me, fresh, fruity, herba pura-esque, not that it smells like herba pura, no. It's advertised as a clubbing fragrance, and I'm like, man, I don't have much use for that. But when I went into sample, they finally never had this. They finally had Flame, and I sampled it, and I was like, yep, I'm taking that. So this is very different from the other Eros. You can tell, same maker, right? Versace, same DNA. Playful, but rich and more complex, and it's because of this opening note that it has from Chinotto. And that's why we're starting with Versace, because I'm going to forget that name quick. And Chinotto is very bitter. When I first smelled this, I said, grapefruit? Because it's citrus, bitter citrus. The only bitter citrus I know is grapefruit. It's not. It's called Chinotto. And it's a type of orange. But to my unfamiliarized nose, I was like, grapefruit? And it's rich, decadent, juicy. For lack of a better word, it very gourmand in that sense. It literally smells like, that's what Flame like the original Eros, and it was my performance fragrance. I always used to wear Eros to gigs and concerts, and this is the new one. So I have to put it in here because this is getting some action right now with me. So definitely 100%. Let's throw kind of a bit of a curveball in it for you. This one. So to make it on this list for me are fragrances that when I wear, either someone doesn't stop talking about it, and it's usually me, but someone doesn't keep sniffing the shirt or smelling the wrist if I put it on skin. And this fragrance here is one of the most unique smelling fragrances, and because of that, I think it's going to be labeled as being fairly divisive. So, whereas Flame, I think, is very well open, and what do they call that? A mass appealing fragrance. And this one, I don't think so. Not as much. And I'm sure some of y'all already know what I'm talking about, because I've talked about this fragrance before, and it absolutely stunned me when I first got it. And all of these fragrances, they're all fragrances that I've literally kicked myself for not getting sooner. And this next one is from the house of Moschino, and this is Toy Boy. And stupid name. It's just boy toy in reverse. And the reason why I say it's stupid is just because not stupid, just like silly, not like, oh, that's idiotic, just like, but the name doesn't really have any indication towards what this fragrance is, and I guess that's a common point, right? This is Eros, Eros Flame. What does flame mean? Like, what in the red bottle? Is it aromatic? Is it spicy? Well, no. Okay, well then why is it in a red bottle? It's like, you can't figure out what fragrances are these days by their names or what they look like. So I guess why not to name it Toy Boy? One of the coolest looking bottles, I will say. And this is also one of those that is available at the rack stores like Ross, and it's pretty readily available, as well as I think darn near the cheapest one on this list. So this is a rose-based fragrance, but it's not just that. It's not just floral, because usually rose, very bitter, geranium, lilies, lighter, lilacs, sweeter, but rose, bitter, and for some reason, it's not here. I waited forever to buy this fragrance because I didn't want that rose. I don't mind roses, but I thought it was just going to be really bitter, and it's not. Instead, what you get is floral undertones and a sweetness, a fruity sweetness that I'm still trying to figure out, but I've always had a propensity to like dark fragrances with sweet counter notes, like black opium over red or red tobacco. And this is one of them. This is one of those fragrances. And every time I spray this on, I can't stop smelling myself wherever it is. I'm like, spray it on the wrist. Just be sitting here just looking like a walking freak show, I'm sure. Luckily, I don't do this in public, but I'm obsessed with this fragrance, and I think it's mostly just trying to figure it out, because like I said, it's literally is one of the most unique fragrances, and that that's why I classify this as a niche type fragrance. Not only is it very high quality, but it's not going to be for everybody because it's new, it's unique, and honestly, I don't know. This is one of these that the frag heads are going to like. If you know somebody that likes fragrances, weird around them. But I don't see this generating a whole lot of compliments. It's anything that's a little bit out there, a little bit strange, those notes not common. You're probably not going to get any compliments. So I definitely wouldn't wear this if that was what you're aiming for. But for me, that's not what I'm aiming for. And I really like it. So I'm going to stop beating a dead horse, or a dead bear in this case. Little teddy bear. Toy Boy. Never in a million years did I think I'd be sitting here telling you that one of my go-to fragrances is Toy Boy and Eros Flame. It's so not my preferred profile. My preferred profile is rich, gourmand, vanilla, boozy fragrances. And those two are the total opposite of that. So I think, though, that you need a little variety, a little variation, and boy howdy are you gonna have it with those two. This next fragrance, number 3, I bought on a total blind buy. I bought it by accident. I thought it was something else, and I didn't realize that. Even after I opened it and sprayed it, I still didn't realize I bought the wrong thing, and ended up being the happiest accident that I've ever had, because this fragrance, well, I never would have bought it if I just looked at the notes, has become my favorite fragrance right now. And this is from a house that has been slept on for years and years and years and years and years. And it's Hugo Boss. And this is Boss Bottled Elixir. This is, as I said, a total accident. And when I was trying to get this, and I got this from Joma's shop, Hugo Bosses were on sale. Someone told me, they said, hey man, that Boss, that Elixir, and those are the only two words I remember, Boss and Elixir. And so I saw it, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I didn't realize that they were talking about Triumph Elixir. So I bought the wrong thing. And this could be my greatest mistake, because this thing is incredible. Totally different from my profile that I typically go for. Vetiver, woodsy, musky. It's an elixir, so those natural notes, the woods, the musk, type of ambergris floral notes, that's what you get in elixirs, and this is just masculine. It's masculine, it's fierce, it's what you would expect the paper towel guy, was it brawny? You would expect that. It was a little green giant, wasn't another one, I can't remember. Lumberjack in the woods, that's what you'd expect them to be wearing. Just crisp, and then it has a little bit of that leather in the base, but so subtle. I don't like leather in fragrances that much. This has it, and I love it. So it's not super heavy. Now this is going for $60-$70 I think still, but this is an absolute winter giant, absolute winter giant, and is one that I love having in my collection. I highly recommend it. Is it niche quality? I think so. Is it gonna be universally loved? I don't know. I don't know. I will say it's not my preferred profile. And I love it. I fell in love with it, so maybe. This fourth one. This is a fragrance that you all have been asking me to review more than any other fragrance. And the newest one is actually the newest one you all have been recommending. Y'all know me. Y'all know me pretty well by now. Y'all know exactly the kind of fragrances that I like. So kudos to you. The next fragrance is also another clone of this, and man, I don't know if I would ever buy the actual thing. I don't know. My relationship with Parfums de Marly is a complicated one, to say the least. I have clones. I've tried Haldane. I've tried Pegasus. I've tried Ojan. I've tried Cologne. And Parfums de Marly has not wowed me with Pegasus and the Perseus. And then Greenlee, which I have not tried. However, Leighton is my favorite, my absolute favorite right now. If you were to say dollars to donuts, what's your favorite fragrance right now? I would have to say Leighton, which is Parfums de Marly. So I have a very strange relationship with them. Cologne is great. That was also a great recommendation. Not safe for a blind buy, but yeah. And then Leighton exclusive was a weird, modernized version of Bijan. Really threw me off. But anyways, we're getting back to topic. So that's why I said I don't know if I would buy the actual PDM Parfums de Marly fragrance, but I love this clone. And this clone is a clone of Altair. And this is Liquid Brun. This was my most suggested, my most referred, my most recommended fragrance. Bought it. And like my other fragrances, kept it in a box. I only like to do fragrance samplings on here so we can all enjoy it together. And man, this sat in that box for probably 2 months before I opened it. And then when I did, I was like, whoa. So this fragrance I compared because I wanted a rich, boozy, gourmandy type of fragrance. And there were a couple in the running for this video, and the first one that I picked up was Stronger With You. This is better than Stronger With You. It's also half the price, if not a third of the price. It's more complex. Honey notes, that sort of suede, leathery base, and the vanilla, the sweetness. It's complex. Stronger With You, even though it's one of my favorite fragrances, it's not as good. Angel Share, not as good as Altair or Liquid Brun in this, in my opinion. And I love Angel Share. I think Angel Share is great. I think Calmer is great. I think the Angel Share dupes are great. But Angel Share does not project, at least on me. And while it's complex and boozy, it is not this complex. It is not this multifaceted. It really does come down to the performance, though, for me. Why this is winning over Angel Share. This fragrance is just a sleeping go and buy Altair. But this fragrance right here, I recommend over Angel Share and the dupes. What was it? The other one, Apple Brandy on the Rocks. Another one of my favorites by Gillian. This just has something that draws you and keeps coming back. And right now, when it was launched, it was like $60, and now it's like $45. And with the sale on Joma Shop, I think it even got down to like $37. This is a no-brainer for $37. It's one of the greatest fragrances that Fragrance World has ever put out, if not the best one. So French Avenue, in collaboration with Fragrance World, and really did great. Great stuff. Last one. And this is another one that I kick myself all the time for not getting this sooner. Because I knew about this fragrance. And I knew about it for a while. And just never bought it. Never pulled the trigger. And to be honest with you as well, maybe I wasn't ready for it. It's expensive. It's a designer fragrance. But at the time, I just wasn't ready for it. And I think it was because I didn't have a nose for gourmand, vanilla, base scents. This is my favorite fragrance from this design house. And it's one that y'all are gonna absolutely know and probably know well. And this is from the house of Victor and Rolf. This is Spicebomb Extreme. Now, I'm not talking about night vision. I'm not talking about infrared. I'm not talking about the EDT. I'm not talking about any other leather, whatever that they came out with. Spicebomb Extreme is probably the best fragrance, arguably, in my collection right now. And I'll tell you why. It is a compliment magnet for other people, but for me as well. And what I mean by that is fragrances that have a way to transform you, make you a little bit more attractive, and change your confidence, just give you that swagger, if you will. And this is one of the things that I love about this. When I spray this, I know that it's an inoffensive fragrance, but I know that I'll have 4 or 5 hours with it. It is a monster projector on my skin, and I'll be leaving a tail 8 feet long no matter where I go. It just gives me confidence. I love vanilla. Vanilla is a huge base in this fragrance, and every woman that I've ever worn this around loves it. And never have I ever fished for a compliment. I never say, hey, you like this? And no. That's cheating. They're all gonna say, yeah. What are they gonna say? No. I mean, some of them will say no without you even asking. But I sprayed this, and it's like, because it's got that vanilla that everybody tends to gravitate towards and finds very appealing. So this fragrance right here is my number one, and it's going to be my number one through winter. I'm going to cycle it, I'm sure, with the Boss and the Brun, but this is my date night. This is my night out, my date night fragrance. If you don't want to spend $90 to $140 similar. It's not as rich and complex. I could definitely be able to tell a difference, but it's because I've had a lot of experience wearing Spicebomb Extreme. Chromo's $20 and it'll get you 80% of the way there, and it's pretty good as well. So, man, 5 fragrances going into 2025. How crazy is that, huh? Almost to 2025. That's nuts. That is nuts. So, a couple big surprises with the Boss and the Moschino and the Liquid Brun and the Spicebomb. That's one of the things that's so enjoyable and also frustrating about getting fragrances, is that your favorite fragrances are going to be the ones you put off, didn't even think you'd like. And then the frustrating part is the ones you think you're going to love are going to be bottom shelf, put in the back somewhere. It's an interesting game we play. So, anyways, these are my top 5 going into 2025. Moschino being a recent release, Bottled Elixir being a recent release. It'll be good to see those prices come down, and you can pick them up for relatively inexpensive. Flame has come down. It'll continue to come down because they just released Energy. Liquid Brun is coming down, and they just put out the EDT of this. I'm pretty sure that's new. I'm pretty sure, but it could be a throwback. I don't know. So I don't know. But all of them coming down. I definitely recommend them for 2025 and for winter fragrances. If you're